we're back at it with another dinosaur size comparison video. Finally, after so long. And so, let's just review this bad boy, shall we? Terrestrial dinosaur size comparison. This is the Leoninosaura, which is 3 feet. Okay. But this is clearly compy, which is... Look at this compy. Does this look like 10% longer than the Leoninosaura? Oh my goodness gracious. The Compsognathus is larger than queso. At this scale. Is this song copyrighted? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. Protoceratops, 1.8 meters, okay. 1.8 meters in length. At least this guy is not confusing height with length. I don't think so anyway. I could be incredibly wrong though. Hopefully I'm not. I potentially am. I don't know. Velociraptor is stupidly scaly. So is the Compsognathus. And even among scaly raptors, this Velociraptor is particularly low quality. Just look at this face and its arms. They just feel very. I can only describe it as low quality, really. So there's really not much to talk about here. Oviraptor. Okay, Oviraptor is also 2 meters. A little bit of I'm a little bit icky about that. From what I remember, is like 1.5 meters long or so. I'm not entirely sure. I could be incredibly wrong. Psittacosaurus. Okay, I'm glad someone actually mentioned Psittacosaurus, because Psittacosaurus, no one really talks about the thing when it comes to herbivores. Troodon. Troodon as of now, 2.4 meters is okay. Troodon as of now actually exists again. Back then, if this was made in 2024, okay, this is probably made when Troodon did not exist. But as of 2025, of course, the Troodon does not exist theory is just not that. It doesn't really hold up as much anymore. So. This is Leptoceratops. Ah, I see. Okay. Leptoceratops is... What's next? Coelophysis. I genuinely thought it was the Dryosaurus for a second. Sorry about that. I got it wrong. Coelophysis is 3 meters, okay. This is, I believe, is a Dracorex. Yeah, it's a Dracorex, which is probably a juvenile Pachycephalosaurus. Stygimoloch may also be a juvenile Pachycephalosaurus. Most likely. Jack Horner. Skeletosaurus 4 meters. I used the Skeletosaurus from a hybrid because, you know, the Skeletosaurus' armor, while quite spiky, like quite pointy and all that, might not be pointy here, but like, Even then, the Scelidosaurus provides adequate protection while not sacrificing on my hybrid's mobility that much. Dryosaurus now, 4.3 meters. It's probably for a gigantic Dryosaurus. From what I remember, the Dryosaurus on average is like 3.5 meters or so. Here's the Pachycephalosaurus, 4.5 meters. Okay. By the way, a bunch of these animals, those wrists are pronated. And so, like, it's just not... They're just going to have broken wrists. They're just going to commit self-harm and mutilation all the time. Figured that way with the Kentrosaurus. Kentrosaurus looks like all of these creatures. They look like they're dead on the inside. They're dead inside, like Jack Horner from Shrek, not paleontologist Jack Horner. Although to be fair, paleontologist Jack Horner. Sorry about that. I can't think of a joke, guys. Nazutoceratops. 14.8 feet in length. Okay, 4.5 meters. Dimetrodon, 4.6 meters, is incredibly outlandish, and, as well as that, Dimetrodon is not a dinosaur. And this design is also outdated, by the way. Styracosaurus. 5.5 meters. I like how these animals, when they're walking, these, most of them are dinosaurs, by the way, they're walking in a more rigid, manner, which is actually more accurate when it comes to, reptiles like dinosaurs, crocodilians, and whatnot. Especially non-avian dinosaurs. This one, however, it definitely doesn't walk in a rigid, aka accurate way. 6 meters in length. Okay. Dilophosaurus, 7 meters. It should not have those frills, by the way. What I find weird, once again, is that every single one of these creatures, they're all walking at the same speed. And so, you'll see some of these creatures, their legs just slide on the ground. It is incredibly off-putting. And Ankylosaurus with, obviously, a mainstream, spiky osteoderm design. At least it does seem flat. Tyrannosaurus. Okay. Carnotaurus. Okay. 9 meters. 8 meters is probably 8 meters is probably a bit better. But 9 meters maybe for gigantic Carnotaurs. Stegosaurus. Ironically enough, Stegosaurus's tail isn't really dipped, which is actually more accurate in terms of actual paleontology. All of these animals, though, they are all shrink-wrapped, and so the shrink-wrap just hurts my soul, really. Triceratops' horns aren't really accurate. Skull. Triceratops' horns should be much more curved and not straight like that. Daspletosaurus. Okay, Daspletosaurus is more robustly built than its cousins, distant cousin, not really distant, but like, Desplanosaurus is more robustly built than some like Gorgosaurus, Albertosaurus. This is a Tyrannosaurian, and so I expect it to be more robustly built, which is fine. Parasaurolophus. Hadrosaurus should not have a dip tail. This is considered a dip tail. This is literally Leucistic Baryonyx, guys. This is Leucistic Baryonyx from Chaos Theory. Baryonyx, and also Baryonyx is dead from the inside. And Baryonyx should not be 10 meters. That's Sycomymus territory. Tyrannosaurus. Okay. Edmontosaurus. I assume that is. Oh, it's never mind. Ugronalok. Sorry. I forgot about Ugronalok, guys. Sorry. I know it's quite similar. Look at what is this now? Iguanodon, 11 meters. Okay, iguana being 11 meters actually makes a little bit of sense, especially for incredibly large iguanodon individuals. 11 meters was good. Dinosaurs 11 meters as well. Okay, or so average. An average iguanodon is more so like 9 to 10 meters long. Okay, it's a Tyrannosaurus, of course. It's a Tyrannosaurus, it's Rexy, and... Okay, this Tarbosaurus? Yeah. Ironically, the Tarbosaurus looks more close to an accurate Tyrannosaurus than the actual Tyrannosaurus on this video. And so, nothing makes that much sense here. This Tarbosaurus doesn't even shrink wrap at all, by the way. Acrocanthosaurus. Tarbosaurus should also be slightly shorter than a Tyrannosaurus. Acrocanthosaurus as well. Probably in the same league, to be honest. This is okay, Carcharodontosaurus. But this is definitely not an accurate Giganotosaurus. Look at this! How did we go from a very good model of the Carcharodontosaurus to this literal plastic thing? This is a plastic toy, guys. We got a plastic toy in a dinosaur size comparison video. This is now the Edmontosaurus. Okay. Okay, Edmontosaurus on average would have reached like 12 meters long, around. Except for the large ones like X-Rex would have reached over 15 meters long. And so, really, I used the X-Rex specimen because that Edmontosaurus was absolutely gigantic. I should have probably used Shantugosaurus. Lambeosaurus 15 meters is kind of outlandish. That's like Shantugosaurus territory now. Of course, the Jurassic Park Spinosaurus, 18 meters, incredibly outdated. It should be closer to around like 14 or so. We've got the Camarasaurus, 20 meters. It's probably Camarasaurus supremus territory. We've got the, of course, this is the Brachiosaurus from Beast Battle Simulator. 22 meters is kind of a little not good. 22 meters is kind of an underestimate. Brachiosaurus should be around like 25 meters long. 26 even. That's 27. Argentinosaurus. This Argentinosaurus should be much more bulky than this one is. More like Marabunisaurus at this point. Not even Marabunisaurus, but Menchisaurus. So, this looks more like an Apatosaur than a Titanosaur. A Titanosaur should be much more iconic than, should be much more robust than this. Brachiosaurus is nostrils. This is literally just Jurassic Park Brachiosaurus. There's really not much to say here. And the rest is just everyone walking. So that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you all next one. Special thanks to channel members for supporting this channel. It helps out a ton.